Hi guys, welcome back to the Alpha Customs YouTube channel. So if this is your first time on this channel we talk about things we do on cars, such as modifications. On this project car, which is a 7 Series E38, my 4 Series F33, and my customers' cars, which vary from BMWs to Audis to different cars. So today we're going to carry on with the part 2 of stripping out this interior. If you haven't watched the part 1 video of this, I'll leave the link up somewhere, so you can click on that and you can watch that, so that you know how this car was before and how it is right now. And as you can see, there's still the driver's seat, there's still the lower dash, and there's the dashboard. I don't think I need to remove the whole dashboard, as you can see over here. But I would need to remove the lower dash and maybe the glove box. And if you look down there, you can see it's like a rat's nest and everything's just been taken out. And I'll show you guys later where there is a screw that is jammed right in the corner and it's been stripped out. So I need to get that cut out, and then it will release the plastic trim which is just underneath it. So what are we waiting for? Let's get crackalacking. So if this is your first time on this channel, please do remember to subscribe and click on the notification button to be part of this Alpha Customs journey, so that you don't forget about any videos that we upload about this 7 Series build. As well as this, please do leave your comments on what you think we should do on this car and what we shouldn't do on this car. As any suggestive comments that are good, I might take it on board and I might end up doing it. So let's get crackalacking into this. And as you can see here, this screw is just threaded out. I've tried getting the drill bit to take out extracted screws, but still that didn't work. So what I've done is I've tried to use a Dremel tool, and you can see some of it has been cut, which is the downside of using a Dremel. However, this bit is going to be covered by the leather, or the bottom bit of the dash, so this will be covered, so it doesn't really matter if this gets cut. So what we're going to do is use a Dremel tool and just cut behind the screw, so that we can cut that screw off, and we should be able to release this plastic trim which has the boot opening, as well as the handbrake lever which goes here, which I removed in part 1 of this video. So what are we waiting for? Let's get to it, and let's take out this, let's take out the lower dash, and let's take out the remainings of this car. So here we are with the Dremel tool, and here's the screw. So let's try cut this out, and hopefully this plastic trim will come out. And once this comes out, we'll get back to taking out the lower dash and the seats and getting out the carpet, and bada bing bada boom. And always, if you are using a Dremel tool, wear gloves and wear goggles. Otherwise, all these sparks that you're seeing from the actual screw, they will go into your eyes, and that's not what we want. So always remember that before touching the Dremel. Looks like the battery's dead, so we're going to leave this for now. And I've taken out a bit of the screw. And also remember, if you're going to touch the metal, let it cool down for a bit, otherwise it's going to be really hot and it's going to hurt your hands. That's why you need to wear gloves. However, I've put a little dent into the screw, and I'm sure once this powers up, I should be able to take that out. However, for now we're going to take out the seat, we're going to go onto the lower dash and take out that side of the car, and then come back to this right at the end. So let's go. Okay, so before taking out the lower dash, you want to make sure that you have a little box like this where you can put your old screws. So these are like screws from the seats, from little trims that I've taken off. So these are all the screws, and the screws that I've taken off down there. And surely I'm not going to be using that same screw that I'm going to strip out down there, as well as the seat screws that you saw me struggling with on part 1, where there's 4 T50 bolt screws and they're really hard to change. sometimes if they're really rusty and stuff. So I would advise changing all screws and bolts if you are doing this interior strip out, because new screws and new bolts will be much easier to take out compared to putting old ones back in and stripping out the actual bolt. So let's go into taking out this lower dash. We're going to start off with the back, taking out the air vents which are at the back, and then we're going to work our way up. So here we go. We want to put our plastic trim removing tool around the vents. Just be careful with this because it's a bit brittle as well, and it can break if you're not careful. And hopefully I don't demonstrate that today, because I don't want to be breaking anything. Just want it to come out smooth. Let's see. So looks like it's listening to me, which is a good sign. I just want to remove this like this. That's the air vent out. Okay, so once the air vent is out, you get more access to all the cigarette lighters and stuff like that. So as you can see here, there's power going through. You want to remove all of this. So for this clip, you just hold on to this actual clip and just pull it out and it'll come out. Okay, so this one's a bit of a pain because it's put on with an actual random bolt, as you can see here. So that's not even a Phillips head or flat head. So there are two little pins there which we need to release. For that, this is the best tool. So you want to get that and release those two pins. In order to take this out. But looking at this now, I don't think it's worth the effort for me to actually take this out. There's no need for me to actually take this out for now, because this is going to go back in and it's not getting in the way of removing the dash. So what I'm going to do is just get some tape and tape it around. So that's that done, and then after that we've got the cup holders which are here. There's two screws. Once you remove the cup holder or push it out, there's two Phillips head screws just there. So we're going to get a Phillips head screwdriver and remove that just underneath. And for this bit you can take off your goggles as well, otherwise you might not be able to see the screws properly. And if you really wanted to remove the cigarette lighter, you could probably remove it from the other bit of this connection, which I'll show you guys once I've removed the whole dash, which will give me better access to, and then I'll show you how to remove this if you really wanted to. So once you've removed those bits, you can get your plastic trim removing tool and just dig into this bit, and this should come out. You want to move this forward first before doing that. So let's try and take this out. Then again, this isn't the best tool. You want to use the other one. However, should do the job. Maybe not. It's better to use the other one, just be safe and not break any plastic bits. There we go. So that removes that. And then there are two Phillips screws here, so you want to remove them as well. This will loosen this bit. However, this is not fully off yet, so I believe there are two other screws on the other side which we need to remove as well. However, we've done the majority of the back bit for this. But there should be screws below this dash as well. As you can see, it's not moving at all, so we would need to locate them as well. And if we take off these little bits on the side, there's screws at the bottom of the dash, so let me just show you guys that. right here. There's 2 screws there, so you want to remove them, and there is another one down there as well. And we want to remove all these screws that we see and put it back into the box. And as you can see, the left side of the dash is getting loose. That's what we want. So I believe there's another 3 or 4 screws on the other side. However, we're not able to access that until we remove the seat. So instead of going on with the dash, let's remove the seat and then get to the other side of the dash, remove this whole thing, get to the screw, get to this thing that they've glued on for some reason. I don't know why they would do that, but they've glued that on, and I need to figure out a way to remove that, and then we can remove the whole lower dash, and then hopefully it's time to take the carpet out. So let's get to work. So in order to remove this, we want to get our plastic trim removing tool again. We want to go under and start releasing this from the leather. It does sound like the plastic is breaking, but it's not. So it's just releasing the tabs. Once we release the tabs, you can see we've got access to the bottom. Once we get access to the bottom, you can see where the screws are holding this. So there's Torx screws here as well. However, I don't think we need to remove that. There should just be 2 bolts underneath, which we should be able to get access to if BMW lets us. However, those bolts are right here, so don't think that's going to be possible. So we would have to remove these bolts and then get access to the bottom of this, and then there's 2 bolts under here which we need to remove, and let's see which bolts these are. I think they are a T20 or a T50. So these are T20 bolts, so we're going to remove them and see what we get to below. So here we go. The bottom bit just comes out like that. And that's it. That's the center console, or the little storage compartment in the middle, out. So that's out. And I don't think I had to even take out the T20 for these, but I did help a bit. So I believe once it's inside, all you have to do is pretty much just push it out. Let me see, now I've got it stuck back in. Don't know how it even came out in the first place, but I know this just needs to come out. So I wanted to show you guys how to take it out, and I ended up getting it stuck back in. That's not really great, is it? However, oh, here we go. This comes up. And there we go. So we just slide it out and it will come up. So when you slide it out, this bit comes up and then it just comes off. So that's what you want to do, just slide it out. And here we go, there's more screws holding the actual plastic bit. I want to remove them. It's just screws upon screws. And the thing that I want you guys to leave in the comments, for those of you who work on cars, if you have done something like this and you forgot to put one more screw back and you've always missed a screw, please leave it in the comments and say, yes, I am guilty of this too, because then I would feel better too, because sometimes I have done that in the past too, where I've lost a screw and we would have to put stuff back together without one screw, but it doesn't really make an impact, doesn't make a difference. So yeah, like for example here, even if you just put one screw, it's not really going to make a difference because it will still be in place and it won't really rattle around much anyways. So yeah, this bit is nearly out. For the plastic bit inside, you just want to pull it out, so you can just push on this and then it comes out straight like that. Okay, so to remove the remaining of the plastic, we just want to get our trim removing tool, get under, and it should release this, and bada bing bada boom. I think it's doing it. It looks like it anyways. Whoa, there is so much rubbish under there. So before we do that, I want to make sure that this transmission bit is underneath this plastic trim, otherwise it will just all come together. And there we go, we remove this, and as you can see below the car, or below these trims here, you can see there's so many wires going through, and we need to disconnect them in order to remove this. So let's get into disconnecting. Wiring is a wonderful job, isn't it? So as you can see here, this is a plug that BMW have included, and it's not connecting to anywhere, it's just there. Do you know what this means? It means that this is a plug to an additional option on the car, and BMW have been lazy to take it out because they use the same wiring loom throughout the whole cars for all 7 Series. So if a 7 Series has an additional option, and I believe this might be for the telephone option of the car, so there's a plug right there, and I don't know what it's for. However, I do know it's an additional extra. So if you are doing wiring in your car and you see an additional plug and you're thinking, oh, where is that supposed to go, just remember that there are some plugs which are just there and they're not supposed to go anywhere unless you do a retrofit and it's already there for you, and you don't need to do new wiring in order to get that specific thing to work. So this, my friends, is an additional extra. I don't know what that is, however I might do some research and see what it may be. So most of these connectors below, you can just pull them out and it should come out. So these ones you just pull or squeeze the tabs on the side and then pull it out and it will come out. And there are other ones which you just do the same. So most of these ones are just squeezing and pulling out, or some of them are just those little pins which you just push in and then pull out. However, because this is in some awkward position, it's quite hard for me to get access to all the wires. I'm going to try my best to take this out from the plastic, or from the actual dash, and then see if I can access the wires better that way. The center bit out, and that can sit out. And as you can see here, the 3 wiring looms, like 3 big bits. And if you look at the actual center console over here, there are just pins that are going in, and these ones just match in for that. So the 2 goes into 2, and you get the gist of it, and you just plug and play, and that's all out. So the center is out. This gives us more access, gives us access finally to that screw, so we can go ahead and unscrew this. Okay, so looks like this is fully glued on, and I just realized even if I take it off, it's like really bad condition. So if you look through here, you can see the glue and you can see what is done behind, which isn't great. So just a little disclaimer, this is going to be painful to watch as I'm going to break this off, and some of you guys who are car job guys will be thinking, oh, you could just heat gun it and then remove it. Yes, I know, but this, even if I heat gun it, behind it looks like it's pretty messed up, and it's already cracked here as well. So even though the camera might not show it, if you get close up, you'll be able to see cracks which are in and little marks here. So instead of that, I'll just get a new one just for this side. So just a little warning for you guys, this is going to be painful for all you car guys watching this. Ooh. So I don't know why on earth he's glued it. So as you can see here, you can see all the glue on the actual trim when there's the actual pins here. And I just realized what he's done with the actual pins, or what she's done. They've just put it straight in, and they just make everyone's life harder. So now what we'd need to do is take these pins out, get new pins, make sure the whole thing goes in properly, and no cutting around the corner when doing these jobs, because we want it to be perfect even if it's an old car. So now we've loosened everything and the radio and everything is out. I mentioned the cigarette lighter at the back. If you want to remove this, there are two clips here. So this is the other end of it. It's two clips, you just loosen them on the sides. So you lift this one up, and the bottom one you lift down. So for this, the pick tool is good, and you just take it down, and it should loosen up the connectors, and it should come out. So that's one on the top out, and then that's the bottom one out. And you can remove this connector with the actual dash, so it would just come off with the dash. So now, as you can see, it's loosened up the whole dash, and you can remove this off the actual dash later on. If you see here, there is a bit here where it's just stuck onto the dash and there's nothing connected to it, so you can just remove it off, but I'm just going to keep it as I don't need to remove it. So that's that. So now we can remove the dash. So guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Unfortunately, we were unable to take out the carpet today. However, there will be a part 3. This is because, one, the gas pedal doesn't want to come out, so we need to make sure we take out the gas pedal and the clips behind, and I don't want to snap it while doing it, so I want to take my time on that. And two, my mate who's videoing today, he needs to go home on time, so I want to make sure he goes on time and I don't want to take up too much time of his. So this is it, and this is how the interior looks today. And as you can see, the lower dash is pretty much out, and this looks butters. So the middle bit, for those of you who know English slang, not skang but slang, English slang, butters means it's disgusting and it's not very nice, and this bit is pretty butters and it looks pretty dirty. So we need to get this out, and I'm going to give it a full-on rinse. As you can see, there's little bits here all over. So yeah, when I remove this, I'm definitely using my gloves. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video and you saw the madness that the previous owner has done with the trims. Please do not be one of those people that glue stuff on and cut around work and just stick stuff on instead of screwing it down properly. Even if it takes time, just put the screws on. It will make life much easier, and if you were to take out the dash, it will make your life much easier too. So if you enjoyed that video and you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, please do remember to join our YouTube channel by subscribing to our channel and commenting what you think about this 7 Series build, as well as any other videos that you find interesting on our channel. So till next time, peace.